and whines. And he whines some more. Grandmother throws some cookie batter in the air. The dog runs and catches it in his mouth. Then she pats him on the head. He wags his tail happily. Wags his tail.
Wag your tail.
And goes and lies in the corner. Just then, the villain enters the room, still holding Prudence's arm. Grandmother sees them and screams. The villain says, "I'm taking Prudence and your money."
I'm taking Prudence and your money.
The dog rushes over and growls at the villain. Then unties the villain's shoes with his teeth. Prudence faints and falls on the floor, landing on her back. The dog barks at the villain. At the villain. Barks at the villain.
Bark at the
Oh, he gets right up in her. And then goes to Prudence. He gets right up in her face. Then he growls at Miley Cyrus song in her ear.
Nobody's perfect, and I'm gonna work it.
The crowd sings along, and the villain does the worm. In the midst of this, our hero, Dudley Do-Right, you have to continue to do the worm, enters and shouts, "Forsooth and anon!" Forsooth and anon.
Forsooth and anon.
He enters and shouts, "Forsooth and anon!"
Forsooth and anon.
Prudence, upon hearing his voice, stands up and screams, "Oh, my darling Dudley!"
Yes, do it. That's my butt.
Oh, my darling Dudley.
Oh my God.
What? Oh my darling.
Oh, my darling Dudley. Hurry, he's killing himself in the worm. Dudley and Prudence run towards each other in slow motion. And they found it. Dudley looks deeply into her eyes and says, "I love you, my precious."
No, you say it. I'm not saying everyone's lines.
Dudley looks deeply into her eyes and says, "I love you, my precious."
Timmy will say it.
Love you, my precious.
Prudence looks deeply into his eyes and says, "I love you too, my little lotus blossom." I love you too, my little lotus blossom.
I really love some cookies.
All of a sudden, the villain picks up the chair, and throws it at Dudley. Dudley! The chair knocks Dudley to the ground. Prudence faints and falls on top of the table.
Sorry.
Grandmother tries to revive her by slapping her hand while sobbing, "My child, my child."
My child! Dudley!
She goes on.
My child,
Why
not say it?
She goes on.
My child! My child!
While this is happening, the cat re-enters the house and jumps up on the chair. And underneath the table. And runs underneath the table. The cat. Dudley stands up and flexes his muscles.
Oh, what a
The crowd goes wild. The villain begins to tremble and shake his knees together. This goes on. And on. And on. Dudley decides to warm up for the fight, so he does 3 jumping jacks.
Can the table break?
Then he does a little shadow boxing. Then Dudley does 3 push-ups.
Yeah, Jonah!
But on the 3rd push-up, the villain sneaks over and seizes the opportunity and hits Dudley on the head. Dudley falls and collapses to the floor unconscious. Just then, the cat scratches the dog's nose.
Scratch the dog.
Then the cat and the dog fight on top of Dudley for a few seconds,
Fight!
accidentally hitting Dudley a few times. The dog chases the cat outside. Just then the table collapses under the and falls to the ground. Prudence remains unconscious. Granny shouts out, "You nasty villain!"
You nasty villain!
She goes over to the villain, faces him, and punches the villain in the stomach. He doubles over, but doesn't fall down. In pain. Granny then goes around and kicks him in the butt. He straightens up. Granny goes over and punches him in the stomach. He doubles over. She kicks him in the butt. He straightens up. Finally, Granny gives the villain a karate chop to the back of the neck. Granny gives the villain a karate chop to the back of the head. He collapses unconscious on the floor. Granny looks around at all 3 unconscious bodies. The dog, the cat, the table, and the chair. She then straightens her shawl around her head, straightens her hair, puts on a little lipstick, and heads for the door for a night out on the town saying, "All's well that ends well."
Wait, what did I do? Not even end.
All's well that ends well.